The Bad Batch episode 3, I reviewed all the previous episodes of this show on Disney Plus as they came out, so you can check reviews for episode 1 and 2 on my channel right now, and I will be reviewing all 16 episodes as they release on Disney Plus. So if you like this review, like, share, and subscribe, do all that, and check out my previous videos on it if you haven't. This episode is probably my least favorite. It did some really cool things, but I'm not for the Star Wars stories where characters get stranded on a planet because their ship breaks down. I think they're overplayed in Star Wars, and I think they're really boring. Like, my least favorite example of this is Mandalorian Season 2. There's an episode where they crash land on this ice planet. That's the one very famous episode where Baby Yoda eats all the eggs. It's just a very boring episode, and it contributes nothing to Mandalorian Season 2. If you deleted that episode, if you didn't watch that episode, the only thing you would miss is why he got to a Pacific location, which you could have wrote a different way for him to get to that location, and it would have changed nothing. And this episode is kind of just the Bad Batch stuck on this planet. There's like a little monster or whatever, and it's fine. But where this episode really worked was, in the Bad Batch, in the first episode, they had a other clone who's kind of tempted, like, why didn't you kill that Jedi? Why didn't you kill that Jedi? And he kind of spread apart. And you see that the clones miss him, but he's kind of becoming a villain. He's working for the Empire. We see that Tarkin seems to like him and wants to see where this goes. He's curious about him, and I really like that kind of, hey, now the clones are going to be our Bad Batch. They're going to be pitted against one of their own, and I want to see where that goes. That seems like a really interesting concept for this show. Now, as always, I keep mentioning this, but I think it continues to be an issue. Omega as a character, until they give this character something, is going to be, I think, a little bit of an annoyance. She shifts the tone constantly of the episode, and I think that's because she's a kid, and even the Bad Batch, like, they're not used to dealing with children aboard their ship, but like, she shifts the tone of the episodes constantly, and I think it's very irritating in some episodes. I think this episode, it bothered me the most. I think I don't know what they're planning to do with this character. I'm not really into where her story's going because it hasn't gone anywhere yet, number one. But number two, she feels like she's just going to be in a constant annoyance throughout the show. She could become really interesting. I could imagine something really cool where they did like a season 2 time jump and she's older, but I don't know if they're planning to do that. This feels like they felt like they needed a kid character because of corporate mandates, not because of like they have a genuine interesting story to tell with this character, but I just don't know. But either way, it was a pretty okay episode. I think it's probably my least favorite out of the other 2 episodes. Episode 2 so far is my favorite. This episode just didn't really grab me as much as those, but still, not a bad episode. So, yeah.